2025. And we are meeting here at the Colorado City Town Hall. Can we get a roll call?
Yes. Howard Ream,
Here.
Dalton Barlow,
Here.
Alma Hammond,
Here.
Nathan Burnham, Tom Holm,
Here.
John Chatwin,
Here.
Drusha Darger. Here.
Thank you. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So this is the time for any member of the town council to declare if they have a conflict of interest with any items that are set for action on the agenda. Does any council member have a conflict? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 5. Presented are the minutes of the September 15th meeting, 2025, as the council had an opportunity to review. And are there any additions or corrections? Hearing no additions or corrections, we will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of September 15th, 2025, regular meeting minutes.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? Motion carries, none opposed. Item number 6, this is the portion of the meeting for public comment. Anyone from the public is invited at this time to make a comment. Please step up to the podium here. State your name for the record. There's a standard time limit of 3 minutes per person. Although we welcome and invite your comment, please do not ask, or no discussion or response from the council is going to be required, and individuals should please not anticipate any. So if there's anybody from the public who'd like to make a comment at this time. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the item number 7. Town manager and department reports. Liddell.
Okay, so for my report on the airport for the month of September, we showed 1,105 operations, recorded operations, and that's an increase over what we've had lately, and I think the air show that we held on September 20th had a lot to do with that. A year ago, the operations were 863 for the month of September. We sold... We didn't sell as much jet this last. We've been averaging like 1,800 gallons a month, and we did 1,062 for September. And avgas, which normally averages about 800 gallons a month, was 1,373, and that's probably due to the air show also. On our hangars, we've got the power hooked up to my hangar and S&L Underground, Shem Johnson hangar, and mostly wired. Both those hangars are mostly wired, and one thing we did this last month, just recently, is we got the easements in place for the power installation. They were threatening to shut off our power if we didn't get that done, so we got that achieved. The Dodeca Alliance hangars has been erected. The door's on, but it still needs to be sheeted, but the owners are now putting their airplanes in those hangars, and they're still working on the electrical power for those. We're going ahead on the master plan update. There's been a project management team put forward to work with our consultants on getting that master plan updated. The members of that are Vance, myself, Darlene Stubbs, and Jared Zitting. And we've had one meeting on that so far. And basically what they're doing now is taking surveys of users of the airport and also based aircraft owners, and trying to get some ideas to project what we'll need for the next 20 years. These master plans are supposed to be updated every 5 years, but they're a 20-year projection. And incidentally, we haven't had ours updated since 2008, so it's high time for that. They expect that process to take about a year and a half. The mower we've been using at the airport is damaged and probably isn't repairable, so we're going to need to get another one before the grass starts growing again. Maybe we're going into the slow growth season now. But anyway, it got damaged by hitting a underground, it's a metal can around the transformer. Somehow we hit that. On the air show and fly-in, I thought maybe Darlene would be here to report on that. Did she give you a report on that, Vance?
There is
It's in
one
the
in
packet.
here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, she sent some information that's in the
So it's
packet.
in the packet, okay. Because I knew that she said there was about 4,000 in attendance and a lot of favorable comments, but other than that, I
She
didn't know
did
the
say
figures
if
on
you
it.
didn't make it, then to voice her gratitude for the support of the council in town making that work. And the community, a lot of volunteer efforts showed up to help make it work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Does the council have any questions for Liddell? Okay, thank you again. And thank you to everybody that participated in the fly-in and air show. Boy, that was a positive impact for our community. All right. I guess the building department report is in the packet. Also, the police department's report is in the packet. Public Works Department report is in the packet. Utilities Department report is in the packet. That brings us to,
There's Andy.
just the man we were waiting for. Building Department report.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The building department's just kind of running like normal. It is a little bit slower this year than we had anticipated. But that's mostly because we had quite a big boom the last year or two. And then with all of the stuff that's going on, as far as the lot splits, zoning changes, and these other subdivisions, I expect that it's going to start picking up. I've already got, the first 3 applications for permits in the Reservoir Acres. The Heights up in Hilldale is starting to pick up. They've got 2 of them under construction, and I think 3 more of them that they're ready to submit. So we'll probably be picking up a little bit, but I still don't think we're going to catch up by the end of the year to what we was last year. There is still a lot of things that I'm dealing with. Some of them are a little bit difficult, where we've had a lot of big buildings. People are trying to get financing or get some sort of a certification from the states. And so they call and want a certificate of occupancy, and that's really tough to do, where there's been lots of changes, construction done without permits, and I'm supposed to just sign a certificate of occupancy that says that it's all good. And it's a little bit too risky for me, so I'm trying to figure out a process where I can help them get what they need, but it is kind of difficult. And then, other than that, I think we're just running normal. CDBG grants, the RA grant, we did split that. We have 2 grants. Have not received the funding notifications yet, or the contract on them. We had a couple of corrections on the applications. We got those in. And on the water wells, we're in the middle of the environmental review. As soon as that's done, I think we'll get the funding agreement with them. So hopefully by the end of the year or early on, first of the year, we'll be able to go out to bid, get contractors, and get started on the water well project. I think that probably by the end of November, we should be able to get started with the comprehensive planning project. With the SSP, they just haven't ever sent us any notifications, so I'm guessing that they're not going to do one this year, because it's getting really close to a time where they would be sending out notifications or starting the process for the next years. So typically when that happens, the monies for the SSP is leftover money off the RA or stuff that they've gathered back up. So if they skip this year, it just means that next year they're going to have a lot more money to spread out. So what normally ends up happening is they'll fund maybe 5 or 6 projects rather than 2 or 3. So we do have a better chance of getting one, but it's still a little bit tough to know for sure.
Do they not let you know if they decide not to give it to you?
They do send us a notification.
But you haven't seen anything?
Well, we don't have anything that's pending. The only thing that's pending is the RA grants, and those are pretty much guaranteed funds because that's allocated for us. They just didn't do the whole process of the SSP. We didn't even do an application because they never send the notice of funding available. So I think that they'll do a 2026 SSP that's probably a little bit bigger.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Thank you, Andrew. All right, Vance.
My report's in the packet on page 28. I did attend with the mayor and police chief and some others the A-LEAP event where they awarded the certificate, the accreditation to the police department. It's a huge step. I also attended the fall AZAA conference. The FY25 financial audit, we are well underway with it, hoping to have it completed by the end of the calendar year. That'd be joyful to me. Working with Chief Radley, we have created an emergency manager position. We're using some existing budget room in the dispatch, so we're not having to reallocate anything to the other agencies. We've already got that built into the dispatch budget. And we moved Mr. Randy Andreessen from dispatch to that role. It's a part-time position, and he will represent the town, Hilldale City, Apple Valley, and the Colorado City Fire District as an emergency manager to attend the meetings, coordination, help us keep our emergency plans up to date and all that fun stuff. It's something we've been lacking, and we're grateful to get it where it's under one point. Still a lot of time to landfill operations. We have the landfill board approved purchasing and implementing a routing software that will help us with the routes. As we get more and more development that's less and less square and straight and 4 per block, then the routing becomes a lot more of a project. And we think that will actually help us keep track of the barrels, cans, and stuff better also. We've been working on the engineering for the downstream side of Richard Street. We had another meeting on that a week ago. When they did all the sand engineering and the scouring and stuff, it's quite a bit of a downstream work that needs to be done. So if you know where an extra $500,000 to $600,000 are, then that's what their cost estimates are coming in at. We don't have any funding set aside for that at this point, but we now know what range we're looking for.
When you say downstream, does that include the township crossing?
No, that is strictly to rebuild the Richard Street side, because gotta go about 15 feet deep with riprap in order to accommodate the forces that come from the 100-year flood.
How did it work last storm? It seemed like it went
I-
over.
Yeah, it worked well. That wasn't a real big storm. Most of our storms, it will hold other than the fact that it's been damaged. And so that damage isn't gonna self-repair.
Right, yeah.
And so we've been working on that. I'm still spending quite a bit of time on planning and zoning. And other than that, just kinda carrying on. If you have any questions.
Any questions? Thank you. Thank you for all you do. All right, the update on the magistrate court? No update there. On to item number 8. Consider approving proclamation recognizing October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Shirley.
So Cherished Families approached me about this a couple of months ago because it was coming up, and they're actually here. I see Amanda and Deb that can tell us more about it. It's in the packet, and this month is also recognized by the state of Arizona as the Domestic Awareness or Violence Awareness Month as well. So it's just something we'd like to consider. Do you guys want to have anything you want to add?
No, please step up to the, so everybody online can hear you.
So my name is Amanda Matthews. I'm with Cherish Families, and we are a local nonprofit that works with domestic violence survivors. We partner with the Dove Center. They're located in Washington County in Utah to spread some awareness during this month and talk about domestic violence and prevention. And we've been going up to Hilldale City and doing that for a few years now, and this is the first year we've realized, hey, we should be coming over here. So we adopted the Arizona governor's proclamation and hope that you guys will receive it today.
Does the council have any questions for her? For Amanda? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
With that, we will entertain a motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt the proclamation proclaiming October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the town of Colorado City.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None opposed. With that, I will read the proclamation. Whereas domestic violence can be physical, sexual, emotional, economic, psychological, or threats of actions or other patterns of coercive behavior that influence another person with an intimate partner relationship and technological action, or whereas more than 12 million women and men are victims of rape, physical violence, or stalking by an inmate partner in the United States every year, averaging 24 people per minute. And whereas 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men aged 18 and older in the United States have been victim of severe physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime. And whereas many lifetime health conditions were more prevalent for both female and male victim of an intimate partner violence for non-victims, and whereas 40.3% of children in the United States reported exposure to at least one form of family violence over their lifetime, and 27.7% reported exposure to physical intimate partner violence. And whereas every 44 minutes, 1 or more children in Arizona witness a domestic violence incident. And whereas in 2023 there were 84 known domestic violence related fatalities across Arizona. Whereas promoting healthy, respectful, and nonviolent relationship can help prevent intimate partner violence and reduce its harmful, long-lasting effects on individuals and families and communities. And whereas Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month provides a critical opportunity to stand in solidarity with the tens of millions of individuals impacted by intimate partner violence, raise public awareness, enhance prevention and intervention efforts, and honor the dedication of first responders, service providers, victim advocates, and community members who work tirelessly to ensure every Arizonan can live safely with dignity and respect. Now therefore, I, Howard Ream, Mayor of Town of Colorado City, Arizona, in partnership with Sheriff's Family, we do hereby proclaim October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In the Town of Colorado City, we urge all residents to use October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month to learn how they can break the silence and end domestic violence in our community. Thank you. Okay. Item number 9. Consider zoning map amendment, parcel 404-53321, from RE1A residential to R112 single-family residential.
Okay, this application by Alan Beislein was considered at the last Planning Commission meeting with a recommendation to approve. This would create a flag lot, so it would create 2 single-family residential lots using the flag lot process. I think Mr. Timpson is here to represent him if you have any questions.
Does the council have any questions about this? No questions, we will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-31, rezoning parcel 404-53321 from an RE1A residential estate to an R112 single-family residential.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None opposed. The motion carries. Item number 10, consider zoning map amendment, parcel 404-21067 from RE1A residential estate to R120 single-family residential. Vance.
Okay, this request by Arvin Black was considered at the last Planning Commission meeting with the recommendation to approve. And this would take what is roughly a 4-acre parcel on Johnson Avenue between Hammond and Barlow Streets. And he wants to cut off on each end and build 2 half-acre lots. So he will split the whole parcel into 5 lots, 4 half acres, and then 1 2.5-ish in the middle where his primary residence is. And I think Mr. Timpson is here to represent him also if you have any questions.
Does the council have any questions?
At the citizen review meeting, there was none of the residents that had any opposition particularly, is that?
No, because it's just splitting them into half acres.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. My name is Thomas Timpson, and I'm representing Arvin Black on this. We did hold a citizen review meeting, and one set of neighbors showed up. It was Arnold Darrell. Him and his wife showed up, and they expressed that they were just fine with the project, and they didn't have any issue with it going forward. So,
Very good.
Is on the ends, looks like on the back side, there's existing buildings. Would those all be cleared or on the sides? Or would they be kept?
I don't know exactly
What-
what his plan is with those, but I think any that were coming on to the new parcels would be cleared out.
Right.
at
On
least
that-
Located.
Yeah, on that whole 4-acre parcel, there's really only one permanent building right now, and that's the house he's
It's the
building.
new one.
Everything else is sheds or storage buildings, modular units that he's just storing there.
Connexes and
And so would they be removed or?
Yes,
cleaned
they
up?
will. In
Okay.
fact, he's trying to figure out his access to some property he has out in, by the eco yard to move a bunch of that stuff to. We just gotta get the road.
Yeah, that
dressed
would
up.
make for a better location project.
It's kinda waiting on us to move a fence and fix the road.
I see.
A winter project.
Council have any other questions? Seeing none, thank you. With that, we will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-32, rezoning parcel 404-21-067 from RE1A residential estate to R1-20 single-family residential.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None opposed. Motion carries. Item number 11. Consider zoning map amendment, parcel 404-53-325, RE, from RE1A to R112, single-family residential. Vince.
Okay, this request by Jared Beislein was also considered at the last planning commission meeting with a recommendation to approve. This would also create a flag lot it's over on Edson Avenue. It's actually back to back with the other Beislein one. And they both tie to existing developments, so they'll actually just extend the curb and sidewalk. So we're starting to see some of that taking place now.
Okay. Does the council have any questions? No questions. We will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-33, rezoning parcel 404-53-325 from an RE1A residential estate to an R112 single-family residential.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None opposed. The motion carries. Item number 12. Consider zoning map amendment, parcel 404-53160 from RE1A residential to R2 small lot residential. Vince.
Okay, this request for zoning map amendment by Wilson Barlow. There was a fair amount of discussion at the planning commission on this due to the R2 nature of it, with a recommendation to approve. And I think Mr. Timpson is here to represent him also.
Okay. Does the council have any questions?
Does it have enough space for the townhouse there to adequately?
On the 0.8 acres, they could, according to code, fit 10 townhome units.
10
Oh.
units, yeah.
I see. It looks like it's a lot.
Is this
Pretty small.
connected to the other stuff that some of the Hammond boys are putting in right there?
It's not connected in terms of the people involved.
No, but is it
But-
side by side? Is that?
No,
is
it's
it-
across the street.
Oh,
It's
okay.
kitty
So,
corner.
yeah.
It's kind of kitty corner from it.
And
that-
what do the neighbors think?
We had a citizen review meeting. Nobody showed up to that meeting, but I did receive a phone call today from David Hammond, and he just wanted to talk about the project. He wasn't necessarily a fan of it. He felt like the density was a little bit too much for that area, but we feel like with the zoning already being approved for Creekside right there, I mean, that's a fairly large project.
Cause it's on the other side of Hammond Street, right?
Yeah, Barlow Street.
Oh, Barno, it's on this side. Okay.
Yeah, it's just barely
This-
south.
For those familiar with the area, this is the old Ed Lane house and lot. So it's on Harker and Barlow on that corner.
And so that would stay, the existing house would stay, or?
I hope not.
They're considering demolishing that original house and just doing townhouses on it, or potentially just duplexes or something, but But we felt like with that existing zoning already being established there, that it was a good fit. It's a block away from Arizona Avenue. It has good access to the highway and everything. We
Has
don't
it
really
got
felt-
adequate parking if they put that many units on there?
They would have to go through the subdivision process with the site plan showing all their parking, their accesses, their common amenities,
Right.
any of that stuff, so.
Yeah, we'd have
So
at
the
least two.
question tonight is this an appropriate spot to put an R2 with a potential townhome development? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, the developer will have to go through that whole subdivision process. Sketch plan, preliminary plat, then before he can build.
But all the neighbors are okay with that?
None of them showed up at the meeting,
We send out letters to every neighbor within 300 feet
and
And we've
per code, so.
approved an R2 across the street.
When I was at the planning meeting and watched this go through, then Royal said he spoke to the neighbors, and he said that the ones he talked to didn't have a problem.
They'd rather the old house pulled down and something fresh?
That's that was just Royal's comment on that meeting.
Okay. Does the council have any other questions for Mr. Thomas? Thank you. All right. Well, with that, we will entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion that we approve it as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? None opposed. The motion carries. Item number 13. Consider zoning map amendment for Watchman's Point planned area development. This is a Vance.
okay, this project you're quite familiar with. It's been up and down and in and out for a couple of years. At the October 6th meeting, the Planning Commission considered the request. There was quite a bit of discussion and unanimously recommended approval of this zone. The ordinance establishes the zone and authorizes the mayor and the staff to finish up the development agreement. So what we're asking for tonight, and we do have representatives here from that development, is to establish the zone. Before they start developing, they will need to finish the development process and get it, or the development agreement and get it approved. We anticipate that will take another, 2 to 3 months if we stay focused.
So,
You did have your special group address any of the issues and
Yes,
stuff?
yes, and as a result of that, what's in your packet, you'll notice is a lot easier to follow and a lot less geekified plan.
Yeah.
I learned that word from Mr. Wilkinson, so I dared use it. And then the development agreement that will attach to this will spell out, and we're trying to make that adequate, that somebody in 10 years from now or 15 years from now, when some of us may have moved on into the sunset, they can look at this and say, okay, here's what was agreed to, here's what the developer agreed to, here's what the town agreed to.
thank you. So the ask is this the right type of project for this area? Is that-
Well, you're actually zoning it, right?
Yes, we would
Right, well,
rezone it. to
Right, if
meet
you approve
the
this
center
ordinance
project.
tonight, it will put that footprint of that ordinance.
Of each of the different areas and there's.
Well, it's the planned area development, so it says within these 203 acres, give or take, here's how it will be developed. We'll have these things here, 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 here. The development agreement that we're still ironing out will take each one of those and spell out who's responsible for what, when.
In each of the sections.
Right, and whether or not impact fees get prepaid or not, things like that. And if you put in water infrastructure, are you going to pay the developer the city's share of that with development fees as they come in? All those things get ironed out in that document. And we've gone a long ways in it, but we didn't know quite how to finish it until we know that the council is going to approve this concept, because there's quite a bit of engineering and legal work, and attorneys don't come cheap.
Yeah.
They come, I think they're more expensive than engineers, but I'm not sure. So the developer was quite anxious to get this footprint established, and then we'll finish that process.
Is this the first one you've ever done?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Are you comfortable with that?
Yes.
Well, assuming that it's approved by the city and all, how's the funding come along for the construction?
Yes, please.
Good evening, council members.
What's your name?
Todd Wimpy, Watchman's Point. Thank you for the question. So, answer that question, I have to back up a little bit. So, when I was brought into this, I've worked with a few development agreements and planned area developments like this, but this is kind of an interesting situation where this was brought forth by the development group. It's usually the town that asks for this, because when you go on these larger projects, the town wants to know, okay, that's a big swath of ground. We want to know what that's going to look like when it's done. So typically, as a developer, I come in and I'll just do a phase here, a phase there, and I'll just work phase by phase by phase, which we still have to do here. But this is kind of an extra layer of protection for the town and for us in a sense, because this whole thing basically develops a framework from within we can partner on. So I say that because these types of development agreements, I think sometimes they get looked at like, whoa, this is a big thing and we're relinquishing our control. However, it's actually you guys tightening down and having a much better vision. And Vance says, you know, when we're gone, we want people that replace us to know what this is supposed to look like as it gets done. And so to answer your question with that background, this isn't going to happen all at once. It'll go phase by phase, just like all the other developments that are happening in the area. And it'll be planned out and funded as such. So if this gets approved, we would then move into like a phase one.
Right.
Which we would just do, a phase at a time.
And each phase will come through the review process for preliminary plat, construction drawings, all that fun stuff.
Back through the council.
Yes,
Yes, as needed for each preliminary plat.
Yeah, do you have a cost estimate on phase one?
we do.
Do you have that funding arranged?
Yeah, it'll probably most likely be privately funded. Yep.
What's the danger of us approving this and then not having it built out according to the way your plan is? I mean, I'm just curious to know.
Well, I don't think there's a danger, so to speak, because obviously the performance is based on us, right? Even though you guys may give your blessing, and again, I speak as this as a partnership saying, okay, we like your idea of you guys coming in to do this. Now you need to work through the phases and stuff. And again, this is another layer of protection, you know, for this body and for the community, because if anything does change, you know, if something ever happens to me or one of the other general partners, the rules to the game don't change because they're written, right? And so, does that answer your question in a
Well, I
way?
assume you've got everything figured out, but I'm just
Right.
wondering how realistic is this? Is it something that is a pie in the sky, or is this actually gonna happen? That's what I'm wondering.
No, it's actually going to happen now. What I would say to that is to say I'm going to come in and build this in 3 years. Absolutely not. It'll grow and go as the market warrants it.
So when would you expect phase one to be completed?
So we potentially have phase one planned for next year. Yep. So there's still some work to be done. Got to cross our T's and dot our I's with our development agreement, but yeah, we would like to get something going. In fact, seeing the storm this week, I drove around just kind of seeing what was going on. And I'm like, man, it'd be nice to help with some of the surface water, you know, so we're anxious to get going. So,
Okay.
I would imagine phase two would be contingent upon the success of phase one and so
Correct.
forth and so on.
correct. Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's a couple of things. One is in their plan, as they show here, they're anticipating about potentially a 20-year build-out,
Correct.
depending on market forces. The other is if down the road in 5, 10 years, the markets change, things change, they want to amend this, there's a process they could come in, and just like establishing it, they could come in and request some amendments if needed down the road. And it would go through the council review and all that other, and have to be approved.
Okay.
We don't, as staff, we can't amend this on the fly. That would, to amend the development agreement once it's adopted, would require the same process that adopted it.
I have.
Go ahead.
I'm super happy to see this project. This will be a great addition to our community. I'm super excited about it.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope that, you know, our goal again has been to partner with the community, and I hope everybody feels like we've been sensitive to the information that's been shared with us, and that we've really come across as partners, that we want to grow with the community and do it the right way. Even though we have a development agreement, we understand things change, and that's built into the development agreement, that we're sensitive to all of that as well. And so, again, I'm happy with the work that's been done and the feedback that's been shared by everybody in the community, because I would say our original concept is the same, but we've changed a lot of things. So that refinement has been a good thing. So,
And it seems like there's been a high level of communication, and you've answered my questions. I appreciate it. It seems like you're going about this the right way. Thank you.
Does the council have any other questions or comments? Thank you, Mr. Whippy. All right. Well, we will consider, if there's no other discussion on the matter, we will consider a motion.
I'll make the motion to adopt ordinance 2025-14, establishing Watchman's Point planned area development.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second on the table. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None opposed, the motion's carried. Thank you, gentlemen. Item number 16, I do not believe there is a need for an executive session this evening.
No, there's not.
So we will move on to item number 17, budget report and order to pay due claims. Vance.
Okay, the budget report begins on page 124 in your packet. We're 25% of the way through the fiscal year. Our tax revenues are at 27% of budgeted. We're grateful to see that. Licenses and permits at 23% of budgeted. Our IGAs, it looks like we got an anomaly that I had talked about last month and haven't fixed yet. But the police IGA, the dispatch IGA with Hilldale, the state shared revenues are all at 25%, which is what we would expect. The fire district IGA, we've got an anomaly there too. I think there's some audit entries that are messing with that. Charges for services, 12%. Fines and forfeitures at 23%, so pretty close. Overall, our total general fund revenue is coming in at 24% of budgeted, so we're on target. The expenses, general fund expenses, the admin fund is at 31%, and it looks like I got a question on use taxes there. That don't look right, but maybe it is. Building department at 21%. Law enforcement at 26%. We've got some equipment purchases in there that some of that will be journaled out, so they're actually not over budget. Magistrate court at 17%. Dispatch at 20%. Parks and Recs at 21%. Airport at 13%. And Capital improvements at 30%. That's the Willow Street project mostly at this point. Overall, our total fund expenditures are at 24%. The highway user funds, the HERF funds, are coming in at 20%, so they're a little bit under what the estimates were. And the expenditure is at 29%, which we would expect this time of year because we push chip seal before it gets cold. Then that'll kind of balance out through the winter. So unless there's questions on the budget report, that pretty much sums it up.
Okay, thank you. Does the council have any questions about the budget report? Shirley?
Okay, so for the payment approval report, the first thing that is not just general that I want to draw your attention to is on page 4 down at the bottom. For $3,106. It's 3 sets of tires for the PD. And then on page 5 up at the top, we have 2 different entries for Kathy Johnstone, and that's for 2 months of service. And then on page 6, about towards the top half, we have one that's for 1,780. That's the automated weather for the airport. About midway down, we have one for the admin AC unit, wind out on the roof. So that got replaced for 7,250.
You don't need AC, do you?
What's that?
You don't need AC, do you?
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
July and August.
On page 7, up towards the top, we have the chip and seal. One charges for 3,000. That's for the truck rental, and then right below that is 11,352. That's for the oil and the chips. And then on the last page, we have just the up towards the top equipment maintenance, $1,580, and then a new garage for Public Works.
Those are garage doors.
Yes, excuse me, garage doors. And then about halfway down the page, we have a $5,106 expense for Eric Duthie to get him off of our insurance, and we've already been reimbursed by Hilldale on that one. And I think that's everything unless you have questions.
So that was a success.
Yes.
Yes. Took a little doing. We're appreciative to Joel at Sedona Financial. He's our insurance broker, health insurance, and he's really the one that did the heavy lifting to make it happen. Which worked well because he was kind of a neutral third party that could
Yeah.
speak freely to both sides.
Someone at Duthie
And
was
understood
willing.
the business well enough to know
Yeah.
what the right questions to ask.
All right,
Good.
thank you. Well, with that, does the council have any questions or comments about what they saw there? If not, we will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to pay the due claims as they become due.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? None opposed. So we can pay the bills as we get the money. All right, this is the time in our meeting for the council to bring up any other items for awareness. You will not be able to take actions on any items brought up at this time, but the council can direct staff to do additional research on matters or schedule them for action on a future agenda. Oh, with that, does the council have any comments?
Did Rick ever look into that, when you get on the Arizona coming into town right there at the dead landscape and stuff right there?
I don't know. Will
Medium?
you make a
Yeah,
note, talk to Rick
median.
Rick
I'm just
and Mike are
wondering
the
if
ones you need
if
to
it's
talk
all dead, just cap and at least pull out the ugly stuff.
to. Right.
Sure.
Okay. Shirley will get with Mike and Rick. They're our plant people. Have them address that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
I have a question about going Maxwell. Are they putting a water line up there? Are we gonna have any benefit out of that, or?
Hilldale got a significant amount of funding from Utah to upgrade Maxwell Park. And part of that, and it's a couple of different sources, is they're running new water lines and sewer mains up into Maxwell. That's the project that's going on right now up the road. And then once they get those in place, then they will do a whole nother project to rebuild the park. And I don't have all that plans in front of me, but they're available.
That's good enough, thank you.
And yes, Maxwell will be closed for a while. And yes, they did put fill stations down on Jessup Avenue for people that want to. And when you learn how to run them, they actually work pretty good, but you're gonna get wet the first time you try them.
That's truth.
Okay. Any other comments from the council? With that, all right. Well, it is 5:50, and we'll call this meeting adjourned.